That's weird. That's my seat. I have a preference. You know? Yes. That's my seat. Space between lanes.
My ADAP count is spend that time around.
They probably didn't say to spend time around me then.
Oh, so you can hear what we're saying?
Oh. I know. Well, that's truth in advertising. So it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats and silence all electronic devices. The ceremony will begin shortly.
Okay.
Good to know, thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 379th Expeditionary Communication Squadron Change of Command Ceremony. I am Technical Sergeant Lisa Webb, your narrator for today's ceremony. The American Change of Command Ceremony is a military tradition deeply rooted in history, dating back to 3 July 1775, when General George Washington drew his sword under an elm tree in Cambridge, Massachusetts, to assume command of the Continental Army. During the American Revolution, military units carried distinctive flags designed to match the color of their uniforms and emblazoned with a motto selected by the commander. When soldiers followed their leader into battle, this flag provided a highly visible point around which members of the unit could rally during the pandemonium of battle. Because of its importance, the flag was used in the Continental Army's earliest change of command ceremonies. The organization's banner was exchanged in full view so every soldier could see the officer now entrusted to lead them into battle. The modern ceremony you see today is rooted in this military tradition and symbolizes the passing of command so all may witness the changing of leadership responsibilities. On behalf of the presiding official for today's ceremony, Commander of the 379th Expeditionary Mission Support Group, Colonel Tara White, and the 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron, we would like to recognize some of our distinguished guests who are in attendance today. Vice Commander, 379th Air Expeditionary Wing, Colonel Benjamin Johnson. Commander, 379th Expeditionary Operations Group, Colonel Michael Walters. Commander, 379th Expeditionary Maintenance Group, Colonel Craig Giles. Commander, 379th Expeditionary Medical Group, Colonel Anne Marie McCain. Commander, Director, Cyberspace Forces, Colonel Omar Velasco and his wife, Kimberly. And Major Gargan's family, wife Mika and their children, Brian, David, Medea, Raiden, and Rise. We would also like to welcome all commanders, directors, chiefs, first sergeants, special guests, and especially the men and women of the 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron. In a few moments, we will begin the ceremony during which outgoing Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Timothy Ritchie, will relinquish command to incoming Commander, Major Jason Gargan. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the posting of the colors, the singing of the national anthem by Master Sergeant Janae Schultz, and we invite you to remain standing for the invocation by Chaplain Francis Rella.
Post the colors. Colors. Halt. Present. Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Port. Arms.
Please stand, please. And if it is within your faith tradition, let us pray. Gracious God, we ask your blessing upon all those gathered here and pray that you be with us at this change of command. Inspire us with your wisdom that we may appreciate the true nature of command and the serious consequences that flow from it. May the spirit of justice, care, concern, and dedication to duty be the legacy of Lieutenant Colonel Timothy Ritchie to the men and women in his command. May your almighty hand, which is greater than the power of the universe, be upon him as he continues on the path chosen by you before all ages. We pray your support for Major Jason Gargan and his family as he assumes the burden of command. Strengthen him so that one day he may too look back with pride and delight on his legacy. Unto whom much is given, much is required. As you have blessed him with this special trust, endow him with added strength and wisdom to carry out these increased responsibilities. Thank you, God, for this day, for the men and women and the families of our airmen, civilian partners, allies, and all our military. Finally, bless those who bless you, exalt those who serve you, and sanctify those who trust in you. Grant peace to your people and strength to our armed forces. For every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from you, the Father of lights, forever and ever. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Master Sergeant Schultz, Honor Guard, and Chaplain Rella. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you today's presiding official, Colonel Tara White.
It's a good looking audience today. This is going to be easy. I've got a section right there. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Colonel Johnson, Chief Williams, Chewie, Craig, Anne Marie, commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, and especially the men and women of the 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron. It's been such an incredible year watching the Magic Makers in action. Nothing short of wow. TJ, your leadership, dedication, and team's commitment have turned the ordinary into extraordinary. Beyond what is in Lieutenant Colonel Ritchie's declaration, please allow me to share some of the last year's amazing successes and accomplishments. TJ, your leadership philosophy took Mission Command to a whole new level. With an operational mindset, the Magic Makers implemented the PBED, plan, brief, execute, debrief process for all squadron actions. And noting communication is one of the leader's greatest challenges, this process drove teams to greater effectiveness and collaboration, and ultimately greater efficiency as a squadron, shattering comm barriers. Nicely done. Lieutenant Colonel Ritchie and his DO, soon to be our next ECS commander, established AFCENT's first cyber mission assurance team. This concept realized a low-cost method to rapidly develop a proactive cyber defense posture for the wing to be better prepared for operations in a contested, degraded environment. Partnered with the EOSS, the cyber intel team studies and reports the most likely and/or most dangerous cyber threats to the missions at AUAB. The AFCENT A2 and A6 communities have recognized the value of these efforts and will inevitably adopt CNATs across the AOR and beyond. An incredible proactive initiative, the Magic Makers executed Operation Echo Sweep. Teams visited squadrons and swept their spaces to solve any comm problems on the spot. And not only did it spread goodwill throughout our other units, but it presented an opportunity to educate customers firsthand. Obviously, the bigger issues were taken back to the shop, but who doesn't love it when the Geek Squad shows up? I mean, even better when you didn't even call them. If you ask TJ today what one of his biggest challenges is, he will tell you money. due to, and he coined the phrase, the budget crisis of 2019. And cell phones can be an emotional issue, but they're extremely expensive, especially around here. His team mapped a plan to transition from Vodafone to Ooredoo in just 12 months, but he was only afforded 3 to do it before the funds were cut. But why change contracts anyway? Well, under Ooredoo, there are huge annual savings and better data plans. But the Magic Makers took this effort one step further and worked with organizations across the base to reevaluate the true requirements, ultimately slashing cell phones from 2,700 to just over 1,000. Huge savings. And not to get too technical, but often projects cross multiple commanders as they take years to complete. In TJ's tenure, the ECS commissioned a new Tier 1 facility supporting tech control facility operations. Now, this delivers the state-of-the-art fire suppression, electrical, cooling, ups, and generator capabilities, supporting comms throughout the theater. It's a pretty big deal. One phase left, but a huge lift to this point. And speaking of heavy lifting, the ITNX project has seen more progress on your watch than the previous 3 years combined. Kudos to the partnership with the engineers and the Magic Makers to clear structural and electrical roadblocks, driving this to near completion. So I can't wait to see how your successor takes this one over the finish line. When you see big 52s on the ramp, you are witnessing dynamic force employment in practice, but what you didn't see was the 1,800 man hours and $700,000 in IT equipment to bed down B-52 ops and maintenance squadrons in only 2 weeks. The Magic Makers also ensured the over-the-horizon units from Afghanistan had all their comm requirements to include Centrix. This is a system we don't even use here, but they made it happen. Finally, and no surprise, this team continued to excel. The Magic Makers won the Major General Harold M. McClellan Award for Best Large Communication Squadron in 2018 as the #1 communication squadron in AFCENT. But I'd be remiss without sending a special thank you out to TJ's family, his wife Sharon and his daughters Addison and Mia, for supporting you from afar as you selflessly served a long, but hopefully a rewarding and memorable year apart. And while the time is upon us to bid TJ a fond farewell as he departs for Air War College and back to Montgomery, Alabama with his family, we are lucky to be getting a trusted member of the Magic Makers. Major Gargan has been the Director of Operations of the ECS the last year and is joined here in Doha by his wife Mika and their sons, Braden and Rise, and Camille. And supported from a distance, are they over here?
There.
From his other 3 children, Brian, David, and Adia, all watching via live stream. Now, Livick was prior enlisted for 8 years before joining the officer ranks. And while he spent his lieutenant years learning traditional communications, he has spent the past 7 years prior to his arrival here in offensive cyberspace operations leading network attack systems. And if you have no idea what that means, talk to him because he gets very excited about what he used to do there. But he brings all that and then some as a wealth of knowledge to the Magic Makers, and he gets to share, he shared in the triumphs of the last year of all that they have accomplished. He will undoubtedly take the Magic Makers to even greater heights. So Lick, welcome to the command team. All right, TJ, let's do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel White. At this time, please stand for the Meritorious Service Medal presentation to Lieutenant Colonel Timothy Ritchie.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the Meritorious Service Medal, 7th Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Timothy Ritchie. Lieutenant Colonel Timothy J. Ritchie distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron, 379th Expeditionary Mission Support Group, 379th Air Expeditionary Wing, Ayudit Air Base, Qatar. During this period, Colonel Ritchie established the wing's first dedicated cyber threat analysis capability, partnering with 5 external agencies and driving over 20 threat briefs to key partners, including wing leadership, Air Force's Central Command's Director of Cyberspace Forces, and other command staff. Additionally, he led cyber mission assurance actions for Al Udeid Air Base, surveying and identifying mission-critical assets for 28 units, establishing a proactive cyber defense posture supporting coalition operations for the combined defense of the Arabian Gulf. Furthermore, Colonel Ritchie quarterbacked the command's only airborne senior leader communications suite, overseeing 84 missions, providing secure command and control communications for the commander, United States Central Command, the Secretary of Defense, and countless senators and congressmen. Finally, he flawlessly piloted the squadron through 3 Air Force level major inspections, proving his unit was fully mission capable for wartime operations and earning the 2018 Harold M. McClellan Award as Air Force's Central Command's Best Large Communications Squadron. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Ritchie reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The Commander, 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Ritchie.
Thanks, Arletta. Thanks to the team who put this together. The radio crew in the back, Antonio and Denham. Greg Jones was running the sound system. Sergeant Schultz sang the national anthem, and she's the guy I'm bearing, thank you. And then Lieutenant Mighty Muse, thanks for putting the whole thing together. Thanks, Chaparella, for the invocation. Events like this don't come together easily, so thanks for taking the time to put all this together. Thanks, you all. Colonel Johnson, Chief Williams, thanks for being here today. I know it's a busy time, so thanks for taking time out of your schedule. Group commanders, fellow squadron commanders, chiefs, shirts, and of course the magic makers. Thanks to everybody for being here. We're at a time where there's a fly. We're at a time when events in this theater demand our full attention. And so it really means a lot to see so many people here today. So thank you for taking time out of your schedule. I don't want to go. Bet you don't hear that very often. Just kidding, baby. But I really don't. It's been an unbelievable year. But when I got here, I got advice from my longtime good friend, Lieutenant Colonel Chris Robinson. And he told me, he said, hey man, you're never going to be a squadron commander again for the rest of your life. So do it exactly the way you want to do it. Don't leave anything on the table, sir. Leave everything on the field. And he said, when you're done, have no regrets, which is a tall order. That's hard to do. And you can't do it by yourself. So I have some thank yous. Colonel Johnson, sir, thanks to you and Chief Williams and General Armagas, the command team has been unbelievable. Mission Command has been absolutely outstanding. I'm 100% a believer. I've never seen it, or I've heard of it, but I've never seen it in action, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. And thanks to the entire leadership team for your trust and confidence in my ability to lead the Magic Makers. My personal thanks to General Armagas for his time and energy spent to mentor all of us squadron commanders. I have a lot of notes and timeless advice that he's given us. And I really appreciate he taught us how to read. I think that was really awesome. Man, your implementation of Mission Command was flawless. It was we had the perfect amount of guidance, and you gave us great top cover. MSG was a fun environment. Thank you for making it fun. It was easy to come to work every day, and thank you for your mentoring and guidance. To my fellow squadron commanders, I can only see KC. A lot of them are gone already, but the new crew's looking strong, so I'm pretty excited for the next year. But to the crew, the folks that are here, and then tell the ones that aren't here, the ones that already moved on, y'all are the best. This year was the best. I had 20 of my closest friends always there giving wise counsel, and we got a lot done together. We worked hard, we played hard. This year was absolutely the best. And if you listen closely, I stole my entire speech from little snippets of everybody else's previous speeches.
Smart.
Listen up. I want to say thanks to the group deputies, Todd and Greg, also Woody, Haas, Mona, Eric, and Armis. Thanks, guys. You made it easy to work with all the groups and get things done. You guys are great coworkers and great friends. Thanks. I want to say thanks to my squadron leadership team, Shirt, Chief Walsh, wherever he's at. He's around here somewhere. There he is. Thanks. Really, leadership teams are a crucial piece of the organization. And when they work together, things work well. And when they don't, they don't. So thanks to both of you. And also thanks to the old crew, Sergeant Ritz, Chief Silk, Chief Coleman, Sergeant Page. And I can't forget the CSS guys, Sergeant Hogue, Maz, and Hughes. Y'all really were the glue that brought everything together. You kept us synced and minimized the crazy. So thank you very much. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't thank some of the great leaders that aren't here today. I think they're all here through the Trons, but great leaders and friends who've mentored me throughout the years. Special thanks to Colonel Mueller, Colonel Wainick, Colonel Sutton, and Colonel Brian Kelly from ACC. I also want to say thanks to Mom and Dad. If you guys are out there watching, grateful for your tireless love and support and helping me achieve a lot of opportunities. Thank you, and thanks for taking care of the family while I was gone. And then so to Sharon and Addison and Mia, when I accepted this assignment, I was accepting a big sacrifice on your behalf. And your strength, personal courage, and resiliency have been unbelievable and amazing over the last year. Sharon, if I were in your shoes, I don't think I could do it nearly the same as you did. And to quote a great friend of mine, Matt Trovinger, because this is too good not to quote, babe, you did for a whole year what I struggled to accomplish on a Saturday. Thank you, I love you, and I'll see you soon. The last part was me, not Trove.
It's okay.
To the magic makers, my family out here, I didn't know what I was gonna do when I left my family at home, but when I got out here, y'all became my family right away. And for as much as I'm ready to go home to the other family, I'm not quite ready to leave this one behind. Remember that you're now part of history, serving our country in this AOR. This year was legendary. We've left a legacy in this AOR. This is our house.
Whose house? Cobb's house!
Lydic, we had a great year, man. You made my job easy because that's what great deals do. You were a great deal. It's been awesome to know you, Mika. I met Raiden and Rise, and I can't wait to meet the rest of the family. I know the squadron's in great hands. Passing the guide on to you. Last thing I want to say is when I give my newcomer speech, I tell everybody, don't become self-entitled. It's easy to do. When you get here, you keep working, whatever. But around month 4, start to think, we deserve more budget. We deserve more beers. We deserve more pools. We deserve more cars, downtown, whatever it is. So don't become self-entitled. And as I was reflecting on this year of command, I realized that I wasn't able to do that myself. I'd become self-entitled. And over the last year working here, I've become entitled to thinking I deserve to only work on the most important combat operations for our nation. I feel like I'm entitled to only serve with the greatest leaders in our Air Force and to only work with the greatest airmen that our Air Force has to offer. So my advice to you, Lick, is try not to become self-entitled, but deep down inside, I hope you really get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here today. This has been the most rewarding year of my career. I'm humbled and grateful for the opportunity to stand alongside everyone here. It's been my high honor to command the Magic Makers over the last year. It was the opportunity of a lifetime, and I have no regrets. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Ritchie. Please stand for the 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron change of command.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders.
Under the provision of the Air Force Instruction 51604 and Special Order Number G 1944, Major Jason Gargan assumes command of the 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron by order of Colonel Tara White, Commander, 379th Expeditionary Mission Support Group, Al Udeid Air Base, Qatar. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce for the first time the Commander, 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron, Major Jason Gargan.
Wow. I haven't had butterflies like this since my marriage 10 years ago. This is awesome. I've been waiting my whole career for this opportunity, so my speech will be less than 3 minutes and 79 seconds, but it's all gonna be about thank yous. First, the wing leadership team, amazing. Colonel Ritchie covered that. But in particular, General Armagost, who hired me as not just the DO, but also the commander. I'm so thankful that he has given me this opportunity. No doubt it will be the highlight of my career. Colonel White, ma'am, it's my honor to work for you and continue to work for you for another year and be part of your command team. I'm so thankful for your mentorship so far and continued mentorship. And my ability to faith and to lead the Magic Makers. I know you had an opportunity to maybe go a different direction. You said, no, I'll keep you. So I really, really appreciate it. Ritchie, man, I know you didn't want me to say it, but it's true. I have learned more in this past year than I have in my previous 21 years. He really took me under his wing, and he showed me what it means to be a commander. So I'm forever thankful for you and your entire family, because I know they were part of this as well. So thank you, and please give them a hug from me when you go home tomorrow. All right, so the rest of my thank yous will be, I mean, I have so many mentors and family and friends to thank, but I'm gonna try and cover the ones that had a little bit extra that got me to this place. And I have to start, of course, from 40 years ago, and that was my parents. Thanks for making me, first of all. Second, thank you for being hard on me and molding me to who I am today. Even the past 22 years and still trying to parent me, I still appreciate it, I guess. You guys are awesome. They have visited me every assignment except the ones I've been in the Middle East, so maybe they look down. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. But yeah, they come everywhere. They even came to Iceland and did a tour around there. They come everywhere. They're the most amazing, supportive people. So then I go into my prior enlisted time. A lot of good leaders and mentors, but three in particular. Tech Sergeant retired Keith Council, Master Sergeant retired David Aldridge, and Lieutenant Colonel retired Jamie Mullinex. These are the three that really pushed me to pursue my commission. I did my first 4, and I looked up and I was like, where'd the 4 years go? I need another 4 to go do this. And so they really pushed me those last 4 to go be a commission. And they truly believed in me. And so I just needed that little push to actually go do it. And I'm thankful, forever thankful. I promise to you guys that I will not forget where I came from. As a lieutenant, brand new lieutenant, I was just kind of happy to be there. And Colonel Amburn, he pulled me aside day one. He's like, so what's your goal? I'm like, I don't know. My goal is to be officer. It's like, all right, start thinking about it. He was only my commander for 6 months. And at the end, he's like, he looked into my soul and he's like, don't settle for major. Don't retire at 20. You have way too much potential. You need to go be a commander. So that was that little nudge that was like, you're right. I need to go pursue this and do it right and put everything I have into it and don't leave everything out on the field. So thank you, Colonel Lambert. Even though you were my commander for 6 months, he's continued to mention me my entire time. Even yesterday he was talking to me, giving me some last thoughts. As a captain, I had 2 great commanders, Colonel Bear Borkin and Lieutenant Colonel retired Oz Bieberly. They saw potential in me and they put me in some unique positions that really set me up. I have 2 passions, and I'll talk about those in a little bit, but one of those passions is Title 10 Battle Space Effects. And they gave me some opportunities to do some amazing things, and I appreciate that. I've had some mentors, but in particular 4 that really helped me get to where I am right now, and that is Brigadier General Brad Pyburn, Brigadier General Chad Radke, Colonel Sutherland, and Lieutenant Colonel John Picklesheimer. Thank you for continuing to mentor me and answering my many questions, because I have a lot. And I'll probably continue to ask you, so sorry. To my fellow weapons school graduates, brothers and sisters, every day you push me to make me better. So thank you very much for continuing to push me every day. To my rock star wife, Mikhaila, thank you for settling on me 10 years ago, for being flexible, dropping everything, to support my crazy career, and to raise our 5 children, Brian, David, Medea, Ryan, and Rise. Kids, I love you. I'm forever thankful to be your dad. And of course, I have something for you. Also against protocol, my wife wanted me to give a gift to Colonel Richie. Because she said I like him.
Oh, I thought it was flowers.
It's not flowers. I know Timo already had it, so it's small. So just a little token. We appreciate you. I was supposed to give that to you when I thanked you earlier. All right. Special thanks to Lieutenant Muse and her team that put this together. Like Colonel Richie already said, it really does take a lot of people to put this together, and I cannot believe we fit this many people in the Casbah. So also thank you to everyone that has showed up. We are all extremely busy. And thank you to the East Coast through the West Coast people that showed up early in the morning to attend and witness this event. And finally, to the men and women of the 379th Expeditionary Squadron, the Magic Makers. I am forever humbled to be the commander of this squadron. I brought up one of my passions, and that is Title 10. My other passion is taking care of Aaron. Like, that was the real reason why I had to go commission. Because I wanted to have a bigger influence. And this squadron really gives me the opportunity to do, for the first time really, to hit both parts of my passions. Having the Title 10 battle space effects that we enable every day, and then taking care of all of you. Every day we get shout outs from every squadron on base that says, you guys really get it. And that's the thing, you guys are all warriors, true warriors. You don't come to work and just do comm. You understand the entire wing mission and how your part fits in. And I forever am appreciative of that, because every day I go to work and there's an email that says, hey, you guys just hooked us up, we enabled this mission, and that's exactly what we need to be doing. The reason was because of Colonel Ritchie's 3 lines of effort, excellent user experience, cyberspace security, and ultimately enabling the wing mission. And we're going to continue that effort under myself. And again, let's continue to support OIR, ODR, OFS, and CDAG. I know you guys all know what that means, so that's also awesome. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve with and for all of you. And thank you again for everyone that showed up online, and thank you everyone that came here. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Major Gargan. Please stand for the singing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party.
Off we go, as the wild blue yonder, climbing high to the sun. Giving on to meet our thunder, and the boys give it a gun, give it a gun. And we dive, fighting our flames from under, off with one hell of a roar. Live in faith, we're down in flames, hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. On behalf of the commander of the 379th Expeditionary Mission Support Group and the men and women of the 379th Expeditionary Communications Squadron, thank you for attending. Please join us for a reception to welcome our new commander.
I know.